Hello and welcome to the Flexline Media coverage of the 2021 Brace for Change Charity Classic. This is our lead card final round, Middle 7. This tournament's sponsored by Brace for Change and our coverage sponsor is RPM Discs. My name's Chris Hoopmann.
And I'm Jeremy Brokenshire.
Welcome back to our Middle 7 where it is quite wet and rainy as we head into the first couple of holes. It was absolutely horrendous.
It is coming down.
And here we have our lead card through 7. Jasper Vandermeer out in front with 23 under par, shooting really hot. John Hughes, 2 under par for the round, 16 under overall.
Ashton Clark, 16 down overall with a clean -3 for the front 7. And Jaden Menzies sitting on neg 6, having a bit of a rough front 7 on +3.
Yeah, finding a couple of OBs never makes it easy.
Moving on to hole 8, the triple mando hole with a raised basket, 98 meters, OB long as well, and a whole lot of guardian trees. I would say the feature hole for this course, sick hole, tough hole. It's going to be exciting to watch our lead card finish this one off.
Talk about tough. This one played as the hardest hole for our MPO field in the final round. Plus 1.11 over par average.
Damn, that doesn't surprise me because this hole was tough.
And it doesn't help when it's absolutely bucketing down with rain.
Yep, as we can see, poor little Jasper here getting absolutely drenched.
He's throwing a Champ Destroyer.
John and Jasper both nailing the triple mando.
Instinct from Ashton.
Ashton, I'm not going to say nailed it, but he made it. That was definitely step number 1 for me, is make the triple mando.
Yeah, minimum. And yeah.
Looks like a strike potentially out of Jaden here, and he's just flipped that over.
I think he might have made the mando. He's just on the inside of it.
Well, that's a good result.
Interesting second throw. Didn't quite pierce the gap to the basket. He'll have a little chipper up to the pin. Oh,
Bit of a slip there out of Jasper, but he's just a little short on the spike hose.
Questionable footing, but I think they'll give it to him considering the conditions.
Yeah, perhaps that slip coming into play, just not being able to get the distance on it.
That was nice.
Nice little flick tomahawk there from Jaden.
Beautiful.
Over the guardian trees for
A look.
Yeah,
Smart goal from Ashton.
Just to add insult to injury, they decided to stick it on top of a few hay bales to make it a raised basket. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and this is just like a grind right now. Oh no. Jaden just looking very sorry for himself.
This is definitely where the battle of the mental attitude comes into play. Just trying to push through the horrible weather and
Keep your spirits up.
And the difficult hole as well.
Yeah, it doesn't help that pretty much hole 8 through 10 would be arguably the hardest stretch of the course.
With the worst weather by the looks of it.
Yeah. And this was a similar part of the course as for our feature card where the rain hit. So not getting much luck for these filmed rounds. So John, I mean, we have to say, shout out, great 3.
At strokes on the field, like honestly, par feels easily like a birdie on this hole.
And same for Ashton there. Great shooting.
Moving on, hole 9, 120 meters, big old forehand rip or massive sky Annie. OB roads surrounding the basket with some little bits of wooden junk that the course designers thought would be a good idea to block out the edge of circle 1.
John ripping quickly off the tee. He doesn't wait for no man. He just wants to get this disc in the air and rolling along the ground, apparently.
Going on an adventure. Yeah, wasting no time at all. Ashton with the Sky Annie flexing out nicely.
That's in a great spot.
Right in the landing zone.
Jasper, magic trick, disc is out.
Big old spike forehand out of Jasper.
Throwing a destroyer.
Nice shot. Right in the landing zone there for Jasper. Should have a relatively easy approach.
And a big Excalibur from Jaden. You would think this one would favour the lefties, but it's still a really hard shape to get the distance around that corner.
It's just really far. 120 meters on Spike Heiser. Yeah, good luck, even if you are a lefty.
And this is sent from Jasper, but it is unfortunately sent across the road, and that is OB. And a little bit far right, so it's going to be a really tricky recovery.
Smooth approach out of John there. Just coming up a little bit short.
Oh, some awkward footing.
Set. Ooh.
No!
Another OB there from Jaden. Our lead card finding some struggles on hole 8 and 9.
Not surprised, it's a really hard stretch of the course. Not
Definitely.
to mention with the rain, just...
torrential downpour coming into play.
Does not help whatsoever. Really tricky bogey save for Jasper, and that's probably going to be a tap-in double bogey. Unlucky.
Unfortunate there for our leader as John gets a good run, but not
Great
quite.
run.
And just to clear up any confusion for our viewers here, the OB was the vertical part of the curb on the road, so all asphalt on the footpaths was playing as safe.
Which is good in situations like this, as Ashton lands right on it. Fortunate not to skip long. Has to stretch out with the old disc under the knee.
Good little use of the knee pad there from Ashton. Good bogey save there with a tricky stance. Moving on for Ashton is Jasper and John and Jaden. We'll clean up there.
3 J's.
3 B's.
And yeah.
Rough hole for our
really
lead
rough
card.
hole. That one actually came in as the 3rd hardest. But our lead card would make you believe it was one of the hardest.
Moving on, hole 10, par 5, 282 meters. The road down the right side playing OB. Have to land on the fairway of grass in the middle, and if you really get too far left and there is water or some very, very thick bushes protecting the left side of the fairway. Coming into a very well-guarded basket on some very dense bushes.
And again, John is waiting for no one. He is... He doesn't want to spend as much time in the rain as possible. He's just like, I'm going to get out from under the shelter, throw, and get back under.
Doesn't want a wet disc. Doesn't want to muck around. Just straight out there.
Ashton throwing a destroyer, landing safely.
Nice pitch hyzer there out of Ashton.
And another destroyer from Jasper. Must be a favourite disc of our lead card. And that's a smash.
Yeah, for our lead card, they've got the distance where they don't really need to bite off more than they can chew. Three 90-meter pitch hyzers will get them down there for a relatively safe look at birdie.
Yeah, a lot about this hole is position in the fairway and avoiding OB.
Absolutely. Don't need to go for the longest drive off the tee. Even
And look
though
at this. The rain's gone. The geese are here.
Heavy for short term, but hopefully it clears up for the rest of the round.
Jaden having to battle with that left side. Hopefully not drifting
And
right
might
onto
need
the
to
road. Will he get lucky? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. In the open, that's
Safe
a beautiful.
as.
Yep. This could be John's Hooya.
Ooh, looked like a little foot fault there, John. Stand it on your disc. No one saw that, obviously.
Yeah, I think there may have been some grace given considering the slippery ground. That was a thing of beauty from Jasper.
Jasper might be going for the eagle here. This is 2 crushes out of Jasper.
Oh, not quite. Getting caught up in that rough.
Yeah. Jasper stoked that he turned Chris around there.
Barely. I went sideways. Oh, Jaden toying with the road, but staying in bounds.
Ashton throwing a little blind there with that guardian bush right in the middle.
Oh, and he's pinched well behind that rough in front of the basket. That'll probably just be a little chip around. Not much you can do from there.
I really appreciate this basket placement. It really plays for a well-positioned upshot to get the birdie or to get into the green.
Fantastic from John.
Johnson nailed that.
Yeah, it's one of those greens that you're like, was this made for disc golf? Like, what else would that be for? It's just like this little nook of bushes.
It's just naturally perfect. And Jasper leaking a little short as well. I think that was the common miss approaching this green was the hyzer short left into those bushes, and it really does play for a tricky approach into the green.
That's good from Jaden. He's going to get a bit moist as he backs up into that bush. Actually, Ashton's got a good stretch out. Oh,
lucky enough to have a look at it.
I thought it was going to get far more pinched off than that. Oh,
and here Jasper's we have a bush, Jasper.
Jasper's getting wet. Going to go for the forehand putt. That was so quick.
Commitment out of Jasper. Love to see it.
It's good he hit something. Oh,
John,
great birdie. Huge. Only 2 birdies on this hole.
Yeah, and that is strokes on the field with this hole coming in at 5.39. Shout out to Willie as well from MPO picking up the other birdie.
We also had a third birdie, I should say, T-dubs from Advanced. So, yeah, awesome birdies. Few and far between.
Congrats, boys. All Christchurch crushers. Love to see it.
Hole 11, par 3, 85 metres. This one's just straight in front of you. There's some guardian bushes around the basket, particularly on the right-hand side. So that'll favour Jaden with the lefty line. But if you can get around the back, you might have a little look.
John throwing a compass wide.
Glidey mid-range.
Coming back in. Ooh,
Not quite.
Nope. He's going to be pinched off by those guardian trees.
Ashton throwing a tactic. Long hole for a tactic.
Yeah. Crush. Kind of following suit there. He might have a little look through that gap in the trees.
There's a gatekeeper from Jasper.
A little bit early from Jasper. Leaking left, perhaps.
Just a touch. He'll still have a look.
Yeah, still maybe edge of circle. It's not too bad.
And a firebird from Jaden. Big lefty line, having it fade back into the green. Oh, if those bushes weren't there, it would have been bang on.
I quite like the placement of this basket again. That little bush line, just protecting it a little bit. But if you can land a drive in line with the basket into those bushes, you've got like a 4 or 5 meter putt. It's kind of where you want to be landing if you can't skip it past onto the green.
Oh, Jasper. Still searching for a birdie through this middle stretch. Just a couple of pot shots over the bushes.
Yeah, you don't have much from behind those ones, so kind of maybe a half bid there out of Ashton.
Great birdie from Jaden. Man, he needs some green in his scorecard. Rapidly approaching plus digits, so it's good to see him get that one back to 3 under par. Solid from John. And there's only 4 strokes between him and Jasper.
John closing the gap.
Yeah.
Ashton right on his tail as well.
Quite competitive.
Jasper for now still with a comfortable lead though. He'll be happy with a couple of pars after a bogey and a double bogey.
Onto a scary hole. Hole 12, par 3, 56 metres. Just a short little throw, but it's scary because there's that water behind and it's not far away.
With a raised basket as well, you drop it short, you've got a death putt back over the water. So a bit of a must-get hole, but makes for some interesting golf.
Malta from Jaden falls short, but it's safe.
John standstill master. That looks probably like a dagger and a park job.
Beautiful. Low and straight from Ashton, just a bit too low, getting caught up at that higher section.
Ashton's zone, yeah, just right in front of those bushes. Makes for a scary putt.
And an AVR X3 also low from from Jasper. Making the right mistake though, you just don't want to go long.
Now we'll see if Jasper elects to lay up. Or, yep, no, he learned his lesson from Charteris.
Having none of that.
Well done, Jasper, I respect that.
Looks like Jaden's going to run this one. Oh, so close.
Good run out of Jaden. I think at this point, like, final round,
yeah,
having a rough start to the round, Jaden's got to run everything from here out.
Yeah, some couple of Hail Marys, why not? Not much to lose.
Good clean up there from Jaden. Smart golf out of Jasper and a good little birdie there for John.
And Ashton just on Instagram in the background. Get him down here to par out, and we're done.
Hole 13, island hole, 69 meters, hay bales delineating the island, drop zone on the side of the road. Short little hole, definitely another little musket.
A lot of muskets on the score, say.
A lot of muskets that I didn't get. So hopefully our lead card plays better than I did, obviously, and gets it as John throws a nice little lawn dart.
A dagger, one could say.
He's a dagger master.
This is a Firebird from Jaden. Big old spike. Oh,
leaking out the back.
Skips out of the island.
It's looking good, but just perhaps going a little bit too aggressive on the disc for this hole.
Great from Ashton. That's a tactic out of him. And of course, we're going to see that one again.
Well-deserved replay here. But smooth form. Straight at it. Little anti-flex, little bit of fade. Park job.
Just a touch of wind, so good stability to fight that. And right next to the basket. And that was an AVR 3 from Jasper. Not super familiar with AVR variants, but I think X3 is probably a touch more stable.
Relatively stable putter, I believe. Jaden has missed the island again, having to throw drop zone for a second time.
That's not what you want when you're leaking strokes.
Funny little hole, this one. Definitely a musket, but yeah, it can bite.
Yeah.
It can bite. And as we saw from our other three players, all throwing putters and really grabbing that green and settling down well, with except that Firebird initially out of Jaden, just hitting in a good spot, but just skipping out the back of the island. So
yeah, just that sharp rim. As soon as it finds the edge, it just flare skips out.
John getting two in a row with a little bow.
Little bow. Lovely. All three of our lead card players making it look pretty easy, but really rough triple bogey for Jaden.
Bringing him back to even. He won't be too stoked about that one. Hole 14, graveyard hole. 155 meters, relatively short par 4, but damn, she plays hard with some thick bush on the left and Obi Road down the right. You must land left of the road to be in bounds. Coming into a very, very well protected basket with some dense bush and a tiny green. So I hope our lead card nails this one, because this can add up some big numbers real quick.
Got John on the box. He's ripping a nuke.
Let's nuke this one. That's huge.
That's great. That's almost in the mouth of the green.
That's not far from pin high. That's at least 120, 130. That was massive from John.
You're like, wait a minute, what did he throw that?
It barely even looked like he threw it.
Out of bounds from Ashton.
Another crusher here. Jasper perhaps looking to match John's distance.
He's throwing a PD2.
That's a smash. Can it get back in bounds?
Oh my goodness me. That's almost too long.
That's probably 120, 130 as well. That's ridiculous.
And I'll give you that one, Jasper. You turned me around on that one.
A full 180 turnaround.
Nice chipper from Jaden. I mean, at this stage, he's just wanting to keep it in bounds. No more errors.
That's
Just-
smart from Jaden.
Yeah.
Just out of the OB, making sure something that's going to come back in.
Ooh. Maybe a bit thick in there. But it's safe.
It is safe.
Who we got here? It's Jaden. Oh, no. Oh, we were just saying.
He knew it too, out of his hand.
Damn, Jaden. This is tricky as well. Interesting that he decided to throw kind of like a spike. Not something straighter.
That's hard when you kind of elect for the layout play and you end up finding OB on your second stroke.
That's some smart golf just out of there.
That's very conservative from Ashton.
That's kind of more what I would have expected just down the line.
John
But I
tickling
mean-
the flag with his dagger.
When your name's John Hughes and you throw daggers, anything's possible.
It's one of those discs that works for him, and why not?
Spiky forehand from Jasper. He's gone a touch long. I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel like a high spike angle isn't the best option just because it's so highly protected on either side. I just feel like something straight up the middle is a bit more successful. Maybe that's what we'll see from Ashton. Yeah, just something like that.
Simple little jump.
Yeah.
I also had a lot of success with tomahawks, just more spiking straight down into the green, rather than having to access the green on hyzer angles.
That was neat from Jaden. Getting out of trouble. See if Jasper can get this for... Was that for birdie? I think that might have been.
A little roll away there. Give him a little bit of a tester.
Yeah, gets the par. Good save. And especially, I believe, with John in position for a birdie.
About to tap in, and he's going to bring this within 2 strokes.
Unbelievable birdie from John. I believe John was actually the only birdie of the entire MPO field.
Wow.
So, huge stroke to get. On the second hardest hole.
Coming in
The
at
graveyard.
4.94.
Huge.
Smash it, John.
Wow. I love this shot. I'm just going to say it. I love it. 2 geese flying
With a disc.
with a disc. You can't beat it.
Jasper still holding on to the lead with 21 under. Close on his heels, John Hewitt at 19.
Willie Taratna and Ashton Clark tied at 14 under. Willie at 6 under for the round, making a big move up the leaderboard. And local crushers Liam and Joseph coming up as well. Well, thanks for joining us for this middle 7. We look forward to you joining us for the final 7 holes of the Brace for Change. See you there.